not merely seeing reality, it is touching the truth.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Chronic Gamer. My name is Matt, and this is my final thoughts and redirect for episodes 10, 11, and 12 of Trigun. So go ahead, click the link in the description, check that out, come back here, watch this video, and let me know what you think in the comments section. If you're watching this on YouTube and you want to see next week's reaction video, check out my Patreon. The link is also in the description. And over there, I post early access reactions a week in advance to all my patrons who subscribe for $3 or more. And yeah, basically what I just said. You get early access. The current YouTube video, the next week's video is the next thing that gets posted on Patreon. So we're about a week ahead over there. So yeah, if you're interested, check that out. Okay, so 10, 11, and 12. 10 and 11, they were good. I liked them, but they weren't great. We had some cool stuff happen. I really liked the fight that I don't know if you could really call it a fight, but it was like a duel would be the best word. I think that's actually what they did call it. The duel between Vash and Wolfwood that seemed like he was trying to take out Vash to save the family, but it turns out that they were kind of like working together to make it seem that way, and then they just opened fired on all the bad people who were controlling the duel tournament or whatever the hell you would call that. And they were trying to get money for the family because the husband wasn't there anymore or something like that. Interesting episode. I mean, it didn't really advance the plot or anything, but we got to see more of Vash and Wolfwood kind of further their friendship, relationship, or whatever you would call it at this point in the series. You got to see them interact with each other, and that was decent. But the episode as a whole, I don't think was like fantastic like other episodes. Like what was it? The one where he was in the power plant. I'm forgetting the episode number. Or just all the badass stuff that Vash has done. You know, we've kind of seen this kind of stuff before, so it was really nothing new. It just kind of furthered the relationship between Wolfwood and Vash, so that was the cool part about that episode. Episode 11, we had the caravan owner who was dealing in like human slaves or human trafficking. I'm not sure what he does with those slaves. It was never really mentioned, but his adopted son or his real, I think they said he was like his adopted son or something. He found out that his real dad was also part of the caravan, and that they were involved in this human trafficking, and he didn't like it at all. And he found out that they were after his friend. I would call her his girlfriend, but they just said friend. But anyway, they're after her. They were gonna, sell her into the human trafficking. And I think the silhouette of the person they showed was also female, so it makes me believe, and I could be wrong, and maybe it's just not mentioned, or maybe it was in the manga. I don't know, but in my opinion, it'll look like human sex trafficking. So, yeah, no good stuff. But anyways, they asked Wolfwood and Millie for help. And Millie, of course, wants to help everybody because of something that happened to her in her past, I think, like they were mentioning. And I'm sorry, I had to record this after school, so it's been quite a few hours since I did it. So it's not as fresh in my head as it was. But basically, Millie vowed to always help people when she can, and Wolfwood, he never had that in him, but he sees that in her, and he sees that in Vash, so he kind of went down the route of trying to help them a little bit. But it turns out that Vash accepted a contract from the caravan leader or whatever, and it was to kill the boy. I'm sorry, I definitely don't remember their names, but it was to kill him because of the trouble he's causing and whatnot. But he took the contract, but he pretty much somehow knew that this was not like the caravan people were not to be trusted, and he prepared ahead and brought rubber bullets so it looked like he killed them so that they would leave him alone, and they get to live their lives separate from the caravan without having to live in fear of them following them, which was pretty cool. Meryl had like this resolve to try to shoot him for a quick second, but she realized pretty fast that Vash wasn't actually going to kill them. Just in his determination and his expression in his face, she realized I'm making a mistake here. Like he knows something that he's not letting on, and he's going to not do exactly what I think he's going to do. So she didn't end up shooting him. They ended up getting away and not being pursued anymore, and it was a decent episode. And then Wolfwood went on his way, and I'm sure we'll see him again in the future. But yeah, another episode that didn't really advance the plot, but it was definitely an interesting episode. Episode 12, on the other hand, is a completely different ball of wax. Okay, so I think we're getting into the real Trigun now at this point. They've introduced the characters, they've shown character development, they've shown how these characters now interact with each other and their personalities, and now we're getting to what I think is the real series here. I could be wrong, but it's definitely different from any of the other episodes that we've seen so far, with the exception of like maybe the end of when he saved everyone from that power plant, and when he had like that flashback with that girl Rem, I think it was. We learned a little bit about Vash at that point, but now we got to see some crazy stuff, man. This dude, and again, I forget his name, he has Sephiroth-looking armor, but he doesn't look like Sephiroth. Anyways, he shows up, and he starts speaking to Vash telepathically, telling him, you know, you're Vash the Stampede, I'm gonna kill you, like you belong in hell, all sorts of weird, crazy shit. And he really intimidated Vash. He made him think that he was attacking this poor girl, but I think it was like some kind of mind game, because she then like skipped away happy with a candy bar or an ice cream cone or whatever it was. And yeah, so that really shook him up. And then he found out that that dude framed him for a murder of the boot salesman where in the shop that he was just at, getting like his boots looked at or whatever the hell he was doing there. And yeah, totally didn't see that coming. But they ended up arresting him. And then this Terminator dude that looked completely out of place from all the other characters showed up. And again, of course, I forgot his name. But he starts blowing people away, trying to get to Vash, saying, oh, you were warned, you're going to be killed tonight. Millie and Meryl are rushing to try to save Vash from being arrested, and they get caught up in this gunfight. Super intense. Then the dude kills everybody. And that was like a point for me that I just totally didn't expect at all. He mowed through everybody, killed women, killed children, killed everybody, I'm assuming, except for Meryl, Millie, and Vash. And it was fucking crazy. And Vash, like, snapped. There's something in him that just we have not seen before. And his hand popped off, and a gun came out of his mechanical arm, and it was badass. And he started shooting the dude in the face, even though he had, like, protective armor that didn't end up killing him. But he was completely different. Even Meryl was like, this is not the same guy. Like, we need to do something about this, because he's not the lovable, goofy guy that we've come to know in the past 11 episodes. So, which was also really cool, by the way. You know, Meryl has always dismissed him as, like, a jerk or an outlaw or a goofball, but she really showed that she cared for him in episode 12. She was even crying when she saw what he was going through. It was pretty intense. And Vash almost killed the dude, man. Like, he went right up in his face. He's like, I'm gonna kill you. He had the gun right in his head. And then he remembered that girl Rem, and he heard the song that she used to sing in his head, and it made him back off. But something is definitely different about him now after having met that dude. It seems like he might be someone from Vash's past. He kind of had like a moment there where he's like, is it this guy? But we only saw like a silhouette and they didn't explain it any further. So it seems like it might have been someone he knows from some time. Maybe in that event where he regained his memory and he didn't know anything before that. Maybe he was there and he knows what's going on. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's definitely crazy. But now Vash has had a slight personality change. He's I don't know what he will be like in the future episodes, but I'm sure he'll be goofy but a little more serious now that this is going on. So very interesting. Great way to end out this reaction video. I can't wait to see where this goes from here because it is getting crazy now, and I probably am starting to see now why everyone recommended this as my next reaction. So I thank you all. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say. I went a little long with this final thoughts. Well, not really long. I don't really care how long I go. I can go 10 minutes. Don't normally go 10 minutes. I know last time I went 10 minutes was for a One Piece episode. So that really is a testament to this show that I would go this long talking about it, especially a specific episode. But yeah, I really liked it, and I can't wait to see more. Let me know what you think in the comments section, and if you haven't already, like and subscribe. Until next time, I'm Chronic Gamer. Peace.